Hey, good morning everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss Pre-Market Report for July 13th, 2016. I'm Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the ES in the daily time frame. What you see right now is we've had a steady continuation to the upside this entire time, and for the most part, prices have slowly pushed higher day over day through new highs, and higher lows day over day. A very nice uptrending move here ever since Friday's breakout on the NFP report. Breaking above 2104 is very important, and we've seen a continuation. What we want to watch for is the previous session's midpoint, the previous session's high price. Into that zone is usually where bulls come in to defend for a shot at seeing new highs. We've already seen a little bit of that pre-market here, but that could be still where bulls look to defend for a continuation into 2150s and beyond. Overall, what we're looking for right now is where is the top going to be? Where is at least a short-term rejection point going to be? 2172 may be that area. That's the the 25% expansion from the key range. So that could be a target to look for, and if that target is reached, it could be a great first test fade opportunity for a return back to 2120. Right now, nothing really to do other than look to buy the dips within the current existing uptrending move until proven otherwise. So right now, key level to watch is going to be about 2140 today. Bulls want to buy into and around that level for a shot at seeing new highs toward 2150s and beyond. If we take a look here at the intraday time frame, here's what you'll see. So let's go back a little bit here. We've seen a major continuation in the upcoming in the previous session here, especially off of our 38s. This is something we called in our room. 45s rather right here was very important rejection point. We were looking for some sort of rejection on this area, either a lower high or a one tick failure. First shot at looking at a move toward the 2140s, and then if a move into 2138 occurred, we were looking to defend it and rally it as high as 2149s, and it got to 49.25, and that was basically the move. So this LVN is still in play. 2138 is still in play. So if price comes down into these 2140s, like I mentioned, into 2140 to 2138, that's still a zone where these bulls will look to defend. Failure to hold those 38s will open up a move across the profile. And you can see here we have the double distribution that we talked about in our trading room. If a failure to hold 38s occurs, you see a move across this profile back into 2126s. So right now, 38 to 40 is a good zone to look for in terms of buy opportunities today. Should price get into that zone above 2149, opens up a push into 2154s and 2159s. All right, let's take a look here at crude oil now. Let's bring up a daily time frame of crude. One thing we were looking for, and this is something we talked about in the trading room Monday morning. We also talked about this in our hangout after the close on Tuesday, on Monday rather, and now Tuesday we talked about in the trading room as well. It was basically the fact that bears were defending this push down, and they were defending rotations here into 45.91, the bottom of this key range, and into 46s. I mentioned just because they're defending doesn't mean they win, and there's buy stops above it. So I said watch 44.40, and if price was rejected there, you could see a push that leads to a short squeeze through those stops. And if you get a short squeeze through those stops back above 45.91, then on the next day, today, any pullbacks into that zone from above will likely be a great swing buying opportunity for a push into 48 to 48.79. So this could be a great swing buying opportunity coming up upon a retest of 45.91 to 46. We've almost gotten that area already. We could even see a little bit more of a move down, but either way, any pushes into that zone today likely to be defended for a continuation toward 48s over the next few days here. If we take a look here at the intraday time frame, actually, let's look at one thing here for a moment. Let's take a look at the ADR method, and let's bring up the ADR method target. It's looking at a monthly here. We'll bring it up to a weekly bull target. So right now what you're seeing is that from this current low, so from this low of the week, If you project higher, the 10-week average weekly range, you're going to get this target right here. That's 47.86. That's the average weekly range. This is the 50%, that's their 75, and that's your 125% extended target. So basically what I'm saying here is if this is the low of the week and we do continue higher based off of this pullback, then this would be your average move on a weekly basis over the last 10 weeks, 47.86. So there's a great shot to see that zone right there and just be average. If this is going to be a move that really squeezes and you see even more strength, then the next level up would be 48.72 to 48.79. So there's a lot of great confluence at these two price levels. If the 45.91s to 46s hold on this pullback, as everything's been playing out as we expected this week, then you have these two major upside targets to play to by the end of the week. Okay, let's take a look now at the intraday for a moment. So looking at the intraday for crude, you can see right here, again, pulling back right now into 46s. Here's 46 evens, 45.91 is here. For the most part, you can see if you bring this over, when price rallied in the previous session, it got stuck right here. And if you bring over that level, that's about where bulls are holding right now. Obviously 91s, 45.91s, 46s is here. You also have this area of support, which is about 45.50. But right now they're looking to defend this prior area right here, make it support so that they can see the next swing move. So right here it's been a lot of digestion. That's when you get this rounded bottom. A rounded bottom usually leads to a significant rally because it's almost, it just basically shows you absorption in pattern form. This is a lot of absorption that's happening down here, and eventually the stops come out. So right now it's doing a good job of at least playing out the way we expect. If there's a failure to hold above 45.91 for the day, that could be significant, and we could be looking at new lows. All right, let's take a look at gold for a moment. Here's gold, and if we take a look at the higher time frame, here's the daily chart. One level we've been watching very closely was 1362.5. And I mentioned if there's any failure to hold above that level, we could see a move back toward 1306. What happened here recently was price broke down here below the 1344s and is now making it resistance. That could be very important. So this has just been an erratic market here lately. For the most part, it's going up. So we're going to continue to see further overall strength until proven otherwise. But it has been a very volatile market nonetheless. Very violent swings back and forth. So you have to be very careful. Right here, 1306 is a significant key level in the chart. So if you're looking to buy gold, 1306 is going to be a very nice area to watch. So if price drops into 1306, 1307, look for rejection. That could be a great time to flip this back up across the D-shaped profile here. Until then, it's probably going to continue to whip around. If there's any failure to hold above 1306s at all, then I think a move back to value would be the next order of business, 1243s. All right, let's take a look at the NQ now. Here's a look at the NQ. We talked about 45.50 being very important. I would continue to watch that as a major pivot in the charts. Right now, 2-day highs or 2-day lows are above that zone. So if you see right here, price closed right at it. That was Monday. Then you had Tuesday's trade mostly above it, and now Wednesday's overnight and pre-market mostly above it, right, or all above it. So 45.50 very important. So you have all these bulls that are buying late because look, down here, buying all the way up, right? And now you have this happening. This is kind of late for some bulls to be getting in. So you know that there are now sell stops starting to grow beneath these lows. So if price fails to hold above 45.50, that could be a quick return back toward 44.50 perhaps. And that could spark at least the next move that perhaps completes the next key range. So right now, I think overall, we're still seeing continued uptrending markets. I think pullbacks are to be defended so far until proven otherwise. And if price closes below 45.50, whether today or tomorrow, whenever, that could be the earliest indication that we're headed for a pullback. But until then, buy the dips is the best course of action. On the upside here, If you look at the ADR method targets, so if we bring up these targets on a weekly basis right now, so if we bring up our weekly bull targets, our primary upside target for the week is the 46.25s. So that level still has a primary upside likelihood to be hit this week. So by the end of the week, Friday, we could hit this level 46.26 if price continues to hold above 45.50s here. I think that's a great target short term. The 100% average target would be 46.61. So we still have some upside targets to play to if rejection does not occur. If we drop on the intraday time frame for a moment, here we are. One thing you'll see here is that prices pushed higher in the previous session, but once they got above this level right here, 45.62, that's 25% expansion level, it started to form a range above that zone, and ever since we formed a range. So up here we have the highs of the week, 45.82, and we have a clear range here. So right now 45.60 and 45.82, very clear range, and that's the range that I'm talking about right now. Right, we have 45.50 right here. I mentioned there are now sell stops forming below that range. So I'm bringing that picture to the intraday now. If bears think that they want a gun for the stops here and lead to a sell-off, then they need to be defending rejections on highs, not pushing through these lows, right? But if price does push through these lows and can't hold, then that would be confirmation, and there's additional ways to play that, right? So right now, as long as price remains above 45.50, continued overall strength should be seen. Pullbacks are to be bought. As soon as price fails to hold 45.50, we could be looking at much more of a pullback ahead. All right, that's it for now. Let's see how this thing plays out heading into the rest of the session. Good luck and trade well.